Why do you love metal? It's a question that metalheads get asked all the time, a question that has as many answers as there are metalheads. You can love Black Sabbath, Lamb of God, and Meshuggah, but the specific reasons you love each band may intersect very little, if at all. The purpose of this show is to dig into the question, to explore and celebrate the vast stylistic variety within the metal genre. So, why do you love metal? Let's find out on 5 songs. All right. Here we are, another episode of 5 Songs. I'm your host, Kevin Tulppo, and my guests, plural, today we're doing something a little different, a little special. We're going to do an actual listening party kind of thing with Iron Belly. We're going to be listening to their EP that they just released, last month?
Yeah.
November?
2016.
Yeah, and it just so happens that the EP has 5 songs on it, so here we go. I'm
just to get back on the show.
Right. We knew he wouldn't invite us without it. So.
Not only do we want to be a repeat, we want to be a repeat double.
There you go. All right, so for those of you who haven't been paying attention, my guests today are Jim Doyle, guitar and vocals,
hello,
Iron Belly, and Tim Cassidy, bass and vocals.
Get out.
Really?
No.
All right, so you have a new EP.
Yeah.
EP number 1.
Yeah, I was here at the release show. It was we played the release show. What the fuck am I talking about?
Smoke Rituals Part 2.
Yep, there you go.
That was a very large and loud show.
Yeah. All right, so let's just get right to the EP then. The first song on the EP is called "Our Castles Are Crumbling," which I gotta say, you guys are one of my favorite bands. I love what you guys are doing, and I love playing with you and watching you do it. I really like what you got going on. So, "Our Castles Are Crumbling." Tell us about this song. What's it about?
Well, I think this is actually our first song. No, third song. And it's basically our political song about Detroit, what's happened and happening in Detroit. And we are suburb people, but what happens in Detroit means a lot to us, and we don't like to see it wasting away that it has. 40, 50, 60 years ago, it was running the world.
Right.
And how we've gotten to here, literally running the world, now we're a big joke. So,
anything to add to that there, Jim?
For me, the lyrics talk about being stuck in a rut and following the same paths, which ultimately lead to the same results. Whether that be personal mental health or even the quality of life in our cities and states, kind of a self-imposed depressive blues. But there's also a hidden meaning that I get from the song, which is to continue to be proactive and not to close your eyes when your world is crumbling around you, but to maybe fight harder or try to take a different path.
All right, cool. Let's have a listen to it then. This is Iron Belly with "Our Castles Are Crumbling."
He who runs with the wind, speak your heart.
Falling down over and over again. What feels wrong to
right.
Let's get serious.
That was that was Our Castles Are Crumbling, Iron Belly, which is like I said, I love you guys. Great song. Next up is song number 2 on the EP called Flailing. You mentioned this one a little bit earlier. So what can you tell us about what this song is all about?
Me waking up in the hospital, basically from my car accident that has left me a double leg amputee, and what we call an AKA, above the knee. And when I woke up in the hospital, I was having a hard time figuring out if this was fake or real, because, I mean, let's be honest, morphine is a hell of a drug. And if you've never taken it and don't even know if you've taken, if you don't even know you're high, like there was a good time that I was thinking this is just a dream and this isn't real. I really do have my legs, but no, it was real. And it was basically about me waking up and having to deal with it when I woke up. But also the morphine part kind of messes with you. So the song, it kind of comes along and it doesn't, it's kind of feels like you're almost maybe stumbling or you're not quite catching the groove. And kind of
Like one of those like one of those crazy falling dreams where you just kind of
right. Yeah. There for a minute, you kind of think, oh, this is just a dream. I can hack the dream. No big deal. I'll just wake up. Wrong, motherfucker. You're awake.
Jim?
For me, Tim had wrote the lyrics for the song Flailing, and reading them and kind of understanding what he went through losing both of his legs, it was pretty crazy. Waking up from a surgery that you were unaware even needed to occur. Another one of the lines that he wrote, seeing a masked man, almost a new life. He woke up without legs and had to basically start over and learn how to do a lot of things differently. To even his family looking at him differently, looking over his broken body. So there was a lot of really cool lines in the song that just really stood out to me. And I thought they were very telling about his experience, and it painted a really vivid picture for me, and I hope it does for the listeners as well. And I just wanted to comment, my favorite line is every heartbeat echoed by a machine. And I thought that was really interesting when Tim was telling me the story about the EKG machine. I don't recall actually the term, but
Yep.
His heartbeat,
Yes.
and then the machine following directly behind it, and how it's stuck in his head. And it was, it was all he could hear for a while. And it was really, 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 again, telling, really, very descriptive. And I love the idea of it. And I'm sorry he had to go through it, but I don't think he could have wrote a better song describing how he felt waking up from it. So, thank you for sharing that experience with me, Tim.
Alrighty, let's everybody have a listen to it. This is Flailing.
There's a man with a man standing over me.
right, Flailing Iron Belly. This recording sounds awesome. I mean, even on the medium, we're sort of forced to listen to it at this point. It sounds really, really good.
Thank you very much. Mike Hasty, Cloud City Studios, recorded it for us, helped us out tremendously to be with someone that experienced, as this was our first recording experience. So it meant a lot to us. And one of his favorite things to say while we were recording, which it really made me laugh, is, one of us would crush a take, what we thought, was fantastic, and he'd say, well, I don't hate it. And it was kind of his little way of saying, it was good enough, let's go ahead and move on. So that was a really fun, he made it really fun, the whole experience. So again, we enjoyed it a lot and would recommend anyone looking to record, go see Mike.
All right. Next up on the EP is High Horse, the title track. What's up with this one?
This song here, I like to leave it an enigma. I've explained what the other songs mean, and this is one of those you can come up with what you want, figure out however you want. I like leaving it enigma because people have their own views and ideas where that song is about, and usually they're wrong. But I just let the fans figure it out.
Right on.
Well, I'd like to add that it's my favorite song from the EP. It's kind of different for us. It's the newest song that we wrote on the EP. Jeremy, our drummer, actually sings lead on the verses for this song, and it's a little more complex than some of our other songs. There's more parts to it, more riffs, if you will, and there's more little fills that we throw in, and it also has the three of us singing prominently and kind of trading parts, which I think we're still finding what each of us can do vocally and how to use our sounds together. So for me, it stands out as one of my favorites. I also would like to add that Rick Rage of Beyond and Back screams on this one, as well as another track, which we'll get into a little later. But he's been one of our biggest supporters, and we played many shows together. And I actually sang on a Beyond and Back track for their newest EP, but those fuckers haven't released that song yet, so hopefully they put it out sometime. And when it came time to record our first EP, we wanted to repay Rick, so we asked him if he'd like to come out and sing on a track with us, and he liked the idea. So what we ended up doing was he came over to our rehearsal space, and instead of just picking out one, we let him sing on the whole EP just to kind of see what he liked and what would happen. And from there, we had our idea of which song we were going to let him sing on, and didn't really discuss it with him until it was time for him to come and sing at the recording studio. When he came in, he had another track in mind, so we said, fuck it, let's go ahead and let him sing on both. Why not? And if we don't like it, we won't use it, but let's let him have some fun on the album as well. So that's what we did, and we ended up keeping both of them, both the tracks that he sang on. So it meant a lot to us, and we feel like it added a little bit of another layer to the vocals, if you will. So not on every song, but on 2 of the 5 he's on there, and we really enjoyed having him on there.
All right, cool. Let's listen to this one then. This is High Horse.
Gonna do
right, cool. That was High Horse, great jam. It's like I can't, I gotta stop fanboying. Seriously, guys.
Thank you.
I mean, you guys are a great band. I really like what you got going on.
I'd like to throw in that most of the artwork on the album is all done by a friend of the band. His name is Jeff Jolly. He owns Hold Fast Photography Detroit, and a lot of the photography he has done is from the area. We gave him lyrics, we gave him music. It said, "Go pick what you think," and he came back, and this is what we are presenting: is what he felt and brought to the table for the album in a whole.
Cool. You said his name was Jeff Jolly?
Jeff Jolly.
All right.
To add to that, what Jeff actually did was he gave us a lot of the photographs, and like Tim had said, we gave him just the lyrics and the music, and he gave us back pictures, and we used whatever pictures we liked the best for the lyric sheets for the album, and also the actual picture of the band on the back of the CD. And then we also we took his photographs and the lyrics, and we sent them over to Rick Rage. We'll mention him again, and he put everything together for us as a package. And then we had one other friend, Jen Goodrich, who helped to actually design the logos. So she hand drew the High Horse logo and the Iron Belly logo, which are on the cover. And we gave them to Rick, and again, he put the entire thing together for us. So I did want to mention that we did have a couple other friends help out putting this piece together, kind of behind the scenes. And without their support, we wouldn't have been able to do this. So we greatly appreciate all of them.
Thanks, Jen. You're a rocking kind of lady.
All right. Next up, song number 4, 50 Cal, which I hear is your first song ever.
Yes.
Actually, is this about a machine gun?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, this is a song before Jim even was in the band. So this song, one day I was thinking about the bridge between my grandfather and my dad. My grandfather was World War II Marine, and my dad was a Vietnam paratrooper. And the one thing that kind of was the same, because by the time Vietnam started, everything went through an evolution. And the only thing they didn't was the 50 cal.
They're still using the damn 50 cal, man.
They're talking about they're extending the length of the weapon. They're not going to redesign or anything for another 30 years or something like that.
Why should they?
Exactly. It is not broke. It is the perfect gun. Don't fix it. Seriously. But that, like I said, that's that one gun that they had in World War II, and that's one gun they had in Vietnam. And now, I mean, we still obviously have it, but that's where the idea came from. And then because of both men in my life, I know exactly, and I've seen PTSD and understand what it's like and what it does to a person. And, there's history of Roman soldiers having, bloody nightmares in the middle of the night. So the stuff has been going on. Killing each other is not normal.
Right.
It does something to a man.
I don't know. It seems normal enough. It's just not. It's never pleasant. Anyhow, Jim, what's your take?
I'd like to add that the beginning of the song is pretty interesting. Jeremy actually made the sample at the beginning, and he surprised us with it at the studio when we went to record it. He actually came in and was supposed to play a keyboard intro, and he changed it at the last minute without telling us, which was pretty interesting. And we were unsure what we were going to think about it until we heard it. And it ended up fitting really great. And my favorite part about the sample is that if you listen, you hear gunshots and bombs and, other war sounds and shit going off. But if you pay close attention to it, you'll hear an earlier demo version of the same song, 50 Cal, come in on the radio, and you'll hear the guy close the door of his vehicle, whether it be a Jeep or whatever the hell he was driving. But you'll hear the song over the radio, and I find it really interesting that, you can hear the sample kind of like a precursor to the song before the song comes on. So I like that. And finally, Rick Rage sang on the song with us as well. And this was song number 2 on the EP that he sang with us. And his vocals added a haunting layer to the track. And, the track, as Tim had kind of mentioned, it's about, any number of things regarding war, whether it be a machine gun or just the experience itself of going to war, heading directly into a new world, wondering if you're ever going to make it back to your family, and ultimately not making it home is how the lyrics kind of end. The last few lines describe this, and they go, "So darkness, it kills the sound, left as bones, souls to roam, bleached bright from the sun, we never made it home." And we kind of wrote that song to have that haunting outro, and I think it fit it really well.
All right, then, let's have a listen to it. This is 50 cal. All right, that was 50 cal. Dude, your guitar tone is monstrous. It's just so big. So big.
Thank you. Actually, I had picked up my my newer orange head right before we recorded, so I was still figuring it out. And Mike helped me adjust it a little bit, especially for recording, obviously. In the live setting, I have to change the settings a little bit, but it was fun. In addition to using, obviously, the digital tube sound, we also recorded other tracks with his fractal audio. So there's kind of a mix of both going on, and if you listen to it really closely, you can kind of pick them out where, you know, one track may linger a little longer than the other track. So it's kind of neat to hear how putting it together, how it turned out. And I was equally impressed with the guitar tone.
Right on. All right. So last song number 5, last song on the EP. This one is called Hypochondriac. Tim?
Hi. Hi, fellas. I mean, it's a song basically, you know, people going through, or people that have to deal with people who are hypochondriacs, or is how I interpret the song. You know, that feeling that you have to go through to endure because that's your loved one. And, you know, hypochondriacs are a mental illness, so it's just kind of an expression of that.
I'd have to agree. For me, when I wrote this song, it was a little more personal than other songs, having been around and grown up around people specifically that I felt like were hypochondriacs. There was always something wrong, always looking for, you know, a different medication, something new to try, and from a very early age, seeing through their bullshit and you know, wanting something more for them, but obviously you can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. So that's kind of where it comes from for me. And the riffs for the song actually been floating around for a long time. It was something that I started working on 10 plus years ago, and this was the opportunity to pull it out and put it together. And once we had the song, the idea, the name of the song was always there, but the vocals came pretty quickly after we had it done musically, and I think it flows pretty well. It's another quick song. I think it's only maybe 2.5 minutes or so, but it really, I think, hits pretty hard, and it's actually probably my least favorite song on the EP, but people seem to like it. We get a lot of compliments on it, which I've been surprised, but, you know, it's to each their own. You know, it's just like all the other songs. It's open to interpretation by the listener, and I can't help how it affects another person. And it's been, like I said, it's been more positive than I thought it would. So there's Hypochondriac for you.
Why is it your least favorite? Any specific? Is it just
Maybe because it is more personal than the other ones. The other ones, they're a little more vague for me. You know, like Flailing is directly about Tim.
And that's my least personal favorite.
Right. Yeah, that's funny how it works. But
I don't particularly like talking about myself, but I'm picked this way of expressing myself, but it's still talking about myself, and I don't put that Flailing at the top of my list.
right on? Well, I guess I can see your. It's not so much a dislike; it's just a reluctance of dragging it out every time you do a gig. But, you know, I mean, if you don't want to deal with it, then don't write real shit.
right, exactly. You know, that's maybe it's the catharsis of actually playing it and going through it a little bit each night and you know, reliving that. But yeah, you know, it's a fun song. But to me, we're heading in a little different direction. Like I mentioned, High Horse is a little more musical. We're getting better as songwriters. I mean, this is the first band that I've ever been the only guitar player in. This is the first band that the three of us have actually sang as a three-piece. So it's kind of interesting the way everything is coming together. And if I had to pick a favorite, like I said, it would be High Horse. I just think that we're heading in a more complex direction, and that's a great example of it.
All right, well, let's listen to Hypochondriac then, and y'all can be the judge of whether you like it or not. I like it.
You better like it.
That was Hypochondriac, Iron Belly. You know, that song is groovy as fuck, man. There's no wonder people dig that one.
Glad you enjoyed it, brother.
That's a dancing. That's like I said. That's a fucking stripper song, man.
Nice. We didn't mention cocaine or bitches once.
Not once, and that is surprising. Let me tell you.
That's music you can make a baby to.
Yeah, baby making music.
Who's said that hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, man. That's a groovy song. I dig it. I really dig that one.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate it.
All right. Well, that was your 5 songs.
Well, thank you again. The opportunity to come out and stream our EP. We hope all of you enjoy it. There's many places you can find it online. You can look us up on Facebook. Facebook / Iron Belly Rocks. There's we're on Spotify, we're on Bandcamp, we're on YouTube, we're on Google Play, we're on Amazon, we're on iTunes, we're on all that shit. Just look up Iron Belly Band. You'll probably see our smiling faces and you'll know it's us. But we're all over the place. We're trying to get our music in people's hands, and we spent a lot of time on this EP. Again, this was our first EP, so we wanted to make it special for us. So we hope everyone enjoys it as much as we do. And so you're aware, we're already working on EP number 2. I think we're 3 or 4 songs deep into that one, some of which we're already playing live, and we have another 1 or 2 we're working on that we haven't shown anyone yet. So
a couple of the new tracks. There's one that's still in instrumental stage at this
Phantom
point.
Limb.
I really dig. Yeah.
Yeah, we dig that as well. I mean, to me, that's kind of in the same vein as High Horse. It's, moving in a different direction, getting a little bit more complex as we're getting better as musicians and as songwriters. And I think that's ultimately that's our goal, to make fun music that, although, we're not super progressive, we like to try to catch people off guard a little bit, and that's where the fun lies for us. So that's where we're heading, I think.
All right, cool. This has been another episode of 5 Songs.
What?
I know, it's crazy. I've been your host, Kevin Tulppo. My guests today have been Jim Doyle and Tim Cassidy of Iron Belly, and we've been listening to the Iron Belly High Horse EP. Thanks, as usual, to Gary Willibey for making us all sound good and doing what he does. We've been recording this here at the Maidstone Theatre in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Thanks, as usual, to John Archer for letting us do this thing here. And with that,
thank you, Iron Belly fans out there.
All 3 of you, thank you.
All 3 of you, thank you. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the show.
Well, thanks again for coming on. And that'll wrap it up. We'll see you next time.
What about my shirt?
Fucking.
I'm gonna spare Kevin.
You come walking back from the bar, and he says, "Hey, did you see the shirt that he's wearing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the King Parrot. Yeah, I fucking heard of those guys." And he goes, "No, on the album." Oh. So I was like, "Oh, fucking cool, awesome."
Yes. Every chance
Well,
I
what
get.
he's not telling you is I'm like kind of giving him all the clues, like shaking my head towards, down there. What the fuck? You're like, during headlights, King Parrot. No, I've heard of them, no big deal.
What I was thinking though when you were doing that was like, because your eyes are a little bit red. I'm like, well, you're fucking wasted.
We should go into it. Keep going.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The cat is out the back, kids.
That's how Iron Belly does it.
Oh, shit.